Yep, first affirmative, go ahead.
Hello, my name is Carly Small, and I believe that surveillance should be used. One of the biggest problems in America is the safety over our country. Cops, government, and laws is probably the top thing you're thinking of as protection over our country. But have you thought of the one thing that can really get the job done of making sure there's safety over all of us throughout our daily lives? The one thing that can really make us feel protected again? After the 9/11 attacks in New York in 2001, 70% of Americans think that it's a good idea to have surveillance in public places. Security cameras can also be used to deter and reduce crimes. To prove this, 75% of crimes in America have been caught on video.
Benjamin Franklin says those who give up liberty for safety will be served when neither cameras and other surveillance take away from rights. Other rights we need to be allowed our freedom, and we have the rights to privacy. It's the Fourth Amendment.
Surveillance should be used. Arizona Police Chief Frank Nelson said, "Once people realize they're being videotaped, everyone's just a little quieter. People know that a camera cannot lie, and it shows things only as they are, and not as someone else wants them to be." Argument 1. People behave better on camera. Complaints have dropped 50% against police officers who wear cameras. People can't lie about what really happened. Police tend to be more restrained when they know they're on camera. And dash cams exonerated police officers 93% of the time. Argument 2. The more security there is, the less robberies there is going to be. Thieves and burglars tend to target homes and buildings with less cameras. They look for cameras and figure out how to get in. They're more likely to move on if cameras are not present.
Surveillance should not be used. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. That was from Gandhi. And my first argument is gas station cameras and gas station robberies are always going to happen. The surveillance cameras help nothing because if it's an armed robbery, the damage is still going to be done, and they're going to find the culprit like 2 hours after because it's not an instant response. Argument 2. I'm very dead right now. Give me a minute. I was once talking to my uncle, and he works with the government, and they're trying to put up drones around all of America, and they can see exactly what you're doing. They can shoot tear gas and grenades. Don't worry about that part though, because you have to be doing something bad, you know. And if that were to actually happen, it would people wouldn't really care anymore. They would continue doing what they're doing. They would do whatever they wanted, and it would be all out of anarchy, because they know exactly what you're doing, nothing's going to change.
Resolved. Many people believe that security is useless and a waste of money. But as a matter of fact, it is the opposite. Surveillance allows for safety and protection of the American people. At the end of the day, the goals are simple. Safety and security. This was said by former politician Jody Rell. These words, spoken by a speaker of the American people, tells us that the prime concern of the government is keeping us safe by any means necessary. 9/11, one of the worst terror events in many years. Since the events of that fated day in history, surveillance has increased tenfold in all across America. The government and airports monitor people they believe to be threats and will not allow them to buy certain things and not allowed to fly on airlines. In 2006, the government released information that they had been spying on people of the American, living in America. And the people reacted with not even caring. There was no public outcry, showing that the American people do not entirely think that, they think that surveillance is useful and do not mind entirely.
Resolved. Surveillance should not be used. Billy Graham once said, "Once you've lost your privacy, you realize you've lost an extremely valuable thing." Graham, like many others, has realized privacy is very valuable to all, and with that we all deserve it. Being watched nearly 24/7 through various types of surveillance, from our cars to our phones, is a big invasion of privacy. Many people don't realize the dangers that surveillance holds. My first argument is that most Americans do not feel comfortable with the surveillance that is around them. According to a recent Pew Research, 91% of Americans think their online personal data is out of control. 80% of Americans are worried that the government is monitoring their phone calls and internet communications, such as email. 2% feel secure with social media sites, only 2%, and 14% feel somewhat secure. 42% of the population go under pseudonyms or false names. Americans don't like having someone be able to watch them at any time, and they don't know who's watching them. For my second argument, London is considered the most spied-on city in the world, thanks to their ever-present CCTV cameras. And these cameras have not been doing much to prevent crime. According to the civil rights group Liberty, the average Londoner is captured on a CCTV camera about 300 times a day. And according to the BBW group, Britain contains 20% of the CCTV cameras and 1% of the population. The Met Police said that only about one crime for every 1,000 CCTV cameras in London is solved. Without a doubt, these cameras have not been living up to their full potential. While a few cases here and there have been taken to court, these cameras have not been preventing the crime. My evidence is from a recent London report that says there has been little to no change in London's crime rate since the cameras, were widely installed in the 1980s.
Okay, we've heard all the first arguments, so you guys have 1 minute to discuss what you want to do for your rebuttal and your closing. All right, time is up. You had 5 extra seconds. Hopefully you'll use it. We're going to start with negative. Negative can go up to the podium first.
Some say surveillance protects against terrorists.
Do you have your closing too, Austin?
Isaac said that in gas stations there isn't always a crime happening. But even though they don't happen every other second and hour, we will always be ready when that time occurs. I'm closing with a quote from Joseph Cooper. That is, we must respect the past and mistrust the present if we wish to provide for the safety of the future.
Okay. What? I think it was Carson. He said that people feel protected when they're being spied on. So it's not. He said something along the lines like that. Okay. I still do not care. But people use certain apps to hide themselves because they do not feel protected. Everyone, do you guys know what WhatsApp is?
Yeah.
It was on CNN Student News, so in history class, it's all encrypted and people try to hide themselves, and now police are actually trying to, invade that too. And that's showing that people do not feel protected by our government.
Okay, so Isaac mentioned drones that have grenades and tear gas, but he also said that they won't use them unless you've done something seriously wrong. So if you've nerves in the nerves, you've nothing to hide. There's no excuse for allowing dangerous incidents to go unresolved when technology is easily available and could help get the truth.
My opponents have stated that you have nothing to hide if you're innocent, but really the truth is you do have things to hide that you don't want people to know. You don't want your life to be an open book. And for the closing, I have a quote from Sarah Kelser from the Carnegie Mellon University. For a long time, people have thought, well, I have nothing to hide. But now they know that that's not in fact true. You do have things you want to hide, whether it's your credit card information, or what prescription drugs you take, or your nephew's jail terms. People don't want their lives to be an open book.
One of the things that Anna said was that CCTV is not living up to its potential. Am I right? Well, you say that it has potential. Potential to stop crimes if it was monitored better. And Austin, he said that it is invasion of privacy and there's too much, right? Well, there is no such thing as too much surveillance because, well, there is. There's a fine line. It is. But that's not the point. The point is that if surveillance is monitored well enough to where it is, what would you rather have? To be watched or to be unsafe and not know what is going to happen to you and your family tomorrow? And I'm closing with, one may believe that is invasion of privacy, but in order to have a better future and security of this great nation called America, we need security in order to prevent threats like ISIS and all those things.
All right. Is that everybody?